Hello and welcome back. Today we're with Nanda. If you've seen the video, How's the View from the Top? Then you know who she is. If not, she's going to introduce herself.
Hi guys, I'm Nanda and this is my boss Gus. We're going to show you guys around for a second.
I'm so excited.
This is where all the battery stuff is.
Oh, okay.
And I repurposed as much as I could. Like this was a closet door from one of the neighbors.
Nice.
So that's where the batteries are, where like the breakers and the control panel, like the master switch and all that. It's all hiding in here, so.
This is
Scarlett, Mama.
Hi.
Hi. You say hello.
Hi, Scarlett.
Hi, good girl. This is the cockpit area, as I like to call it. I had to redo all this, so all those switches and all that I did myself. All of the wiring inside, I did all that myself. I waited until the last minute to tackle the electrical aspects of the house because I didn't want to burn my place down, and I also wanted to like build up my skill level to that point. And I started from like, I basically knew how to use a drill and a saw, and that was about it. So yeah, it was definitely a learning process. Yeah, welcome. This is my living room slash kitchen slash guest bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah, so it has everything in a small space has to have at least one, or at least more than one use, you know, so 2 or 3 is ideal. This actually used to be the dining room table at my house. That was one of the first things I built before I moved out of the house and into the bus. Storage, and then when we're sitting here on the couch, if we're watching something, it's a footrest. There's tons of room in there. Wine cellar, dog food, you know, extra stuff that you don't use on a daily basis.
Very nice.
All my fermenting and brewing goodies and everything. And this is a little flip up table it's all made from the same thing. Like those were the benches. This is that used to be the table that was the feet for the benches, and then it flips up and down just to extend the couch. So when my mom's not here visiting, I make the couch a little shorter, and then I have a little side table here. And
very nice.
Tuck it away.
Yes.
And then, yeah, the benches, I like split them in half and turn that into the face, and then use some more plywood to turn that into a big box and put it on casters so it can roll in and out.
Very nice.
It locks away with this piece of wood when I'm about to drive, and then I just kind of tuck it away over here when I'm not using it.
And it feels cool because you have that open as well there.
Yeah, so we have the back door. I have the boat hatch. This is a fan and exhaust fan, so I don't usually turn it on unless it's like absolutely necessary. Or if I'm cooking, I usually use that as the exhaust fan as well.
So you have various windows open, and then you have this little area open as well.
These are all emergency exits,
okay,
you know, for the bus.
Because you feel the crosswinds going. Like you feel wind coming, like it feels cool in here.
It's amazingly cool in here.
Yes,
People think it's going to be like a tin can, you know, it's hot. Of course, in the summertime when there's no breeze, absolutely. Shut the doors, put the curtains down, everything is insulated, turn on the AC. But now it's so nice, like, and I want to be in touch with the outside. I don't want to be shut off in here, so that's why we leave as much as we can open and just enjoy
To me, it feels like it's in the 70s.
I actually have a thermometer back there, so we can confirm your...
Yes, I feel maybe like 75, I'll say.
I mean, I'm in pants and a long sleeve, which, you know, that should say something. Although I am a bit of a baby, you know, having lived in Florida for so long. Yeah.
It's very nice. Cool. I love it. I love, and so you have...
This actually was from IKEA originally when they first had their like tiny movement a long time ago, like maybe 12 years ago or something. Yes. No, maybe even before that. And I actually had bought one from this new movement, and it was kind of rinky-dink. I didn't really love it. It was smaller, and somebody was putting this out in the trash. They were like moving it out of their apartment. Yes. And my friend called me. He's like, "Hey, do you want this?" And I was like, "I'm on my way."
Very nice.
So I had my mom paint it, and I just gave it a new faucet from Amazon. It was like $40. Fixed all that up, you know, replumbed everything in there.
Very nice.
All my goodies, all my cleaning products, everything is in there.
And you have this is to
it's a water filter.
Your water filter.
And it's nice because it keeps everything nice and cool, and it, you know, when you live in a tiny space and you're like moving your house about, you don't really know what water source you're encountering. So I have a filter at the faucet. I have another filter that comes through the bus, and then that is our drinking water. So our showers are filtered and everything. The water that we wash with is, filtered, but for drinking, this cleans like everything. And it's like the tiny house lovers, little darling, because it's extremely expensive. And I got an absurd discount because I'm a bargain shopper.
Very good.
And it was a crazy
That's
promotion.
my word. I love clearance and I love bargains.
Me too. So.
Yes. So I see that you have a stovetop here.
Yep. So this actually I bought on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Just a little top.
Okay.
And then I custom built this to fit it. And then all of my cookware is all like cast iron.
Very nice.
And so I kind of made it so that the shelves can be adjustable to fit what I have. And then if I expand on that, although I feel like everything I have here is perfect, I have a cast iron wok, the Dutch oven, the skillet, and then I have another Dutch oven for doing it on the grill over the fire. I have a pressure cooker, and then I have like a camping cook set that I've had for many years, and it works perfectly for here. I don't really need much more than that. They're thin enough that it cooks fast and fits everything I need.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's great.
And so how did you come about getting your school bus?
I actually found it on Craigslist.
Oh.
Yeah, I found it on Craigslist. Once I had defined exactly what model bus I wanted, what engine, what brakes, and all that, they kind of like narrowed it down for me, because before it was just like, what do I even want? Once I figured out what I wanted, then I started looking specifically for that kind of vehicle. Okay. I found it on Craigslist. He was down here in Pembroke Pines, so I drove from Jupiter to Pembroke Pines. I took the bus for a test drive, and I gave him $3,000, and I got to leave with it.
Very nice.
Yep, it still had like all of the seats inside of it. It fit 65 passengers, and now it sleeps 2 people very comfortably. And we've been, she got stuck here because of COVID. Okay. So when I moved into the bus full time, she was here with me.
Very good.
And I hadn't planned for 2 people to live here, only to have guests once in a while. And so I very quickly had to readapt. Like I added another water tank, and we had to like figure a bunch of stuff out. I ran hot water outside so we could take hot outdoor showers. So a lot of little things like that. But yeah, it's very comfortable for both of us. I can separate the spaces if I'm working, and she can do whatever she's doing over here. And yeah, it's very enjoyable. Surprisingly, I've seen people live here with like a family of 10 people with tons of kids and everything. So
right.
It can be done. Yeah.
So you did the majority of the work yourself, and you had help with others that when you couldn't lift something really heavy?
Yeah. So pretty much everything I did by myself. I had a gentleman whose property I lived on, and who was awesome and would let me use a lot of his tools, and I could pick his brain, and he had, tons of knowledge, and he could figure a lot of different stuff out. And so he would help me out in so many different ways, but he wouldn't actually do a lot of the work. He would just like kind of tell me and like go figure it out on your own, which was great. So, I learned how to do everything by myself. But yeah, there are plenty of things that there was no way I could do by myself, like removing the seats. You need a person underneath the bus and one inside the bus. So, I mean, I could have done it, but it would have just been a ridiculous amount of work, like grinding the thing off. So 2 people, that helps. Putting the ceiling panels back on, actually taking them off and putting them back on. That's a 2-person job. The batteries weigh more than I do each. So I definitely need help with that. And yeah, I do have a lot of friends that come and help out with, like engine work and things like that. Yeah, but for the most part, like everything that you see here, the floor we're standing on, like the 4x8 sheets of plywood, 3/4 inch plywood, I brought them home myself and picked them up and lifted them and put them here, and everything, like the insulation, everything.
Nice. And
then even all the, the artwork, the photography, the macrame, like everything that you see was done by me.
So I see that you have a microwave, and I know that they take a certain voltage, and your refrigerator. So how are you with, do you have a generator? Are you attached, you're plugged into a specific?
So here I'm plugged into what they call shore power. So yes, I am plugged into the grid. Eventually I am going to do a solar array. That way I can be totally off grid. I do have a generator. In fact, when I first moved into the bus, I lived on a dry land. I had no connections to anything, like no power, no water, nothing. So I had to generate my own power every day. I had to go be super efficient with water use because I don't carry a lot of it, and it was hard to go find water. So yeah, it's things that you learn when you first move into a bus, and then also living out east, it's not as friendly as being out west where there's a lot more like free land. But yeah, I didn't want to get a fancy RV fridge because they're ridiculously expensive. And then if they're propane, they're also dangerous. Like I had a gift certificate to Costco that was the exact amount of money that this thing, and it just happened to match this. This was $100 on at Home Depot, and I was like, all right, it's too cute not to buy it. It's a good size, and it already matched like other stuff I had. Yes. And then, towards the end, everything kind of ended up matching. Like I had this painting, and then I ended up like tie-dyeing all this stuff.
Very nice.
So these were all curtains from my mom's friend's house, and she donated to me. And I didn't know what to do with them. And then eventually I was like, oh, we're going to literally cover the bus in it. So we put insulation inside of these curtains. Yes. That way everything is like, it's amazing what it does, especially with the curtains around it. If it's just that, it would be really hot. But with the curtains, it's like a different world. These were dog beds from Costco. Oh my goodness. I was like, I'm already buying them for my dogs. I might as well. They were like perfect size cushions.
The perfect size, yes.
And, same thing with those. And then my mom just wrapped them up and we tie-dyed them in turmeric.
Oh, really?
They actually used to be way more like pulled to the orange, like a brighter yellow, kind of like that. Yes, and just from washing them, which is why I did the covers, because I wanted it to be easy to wash instead of having to wash the dog beds themselves. Plus, they were like the plushy kind, which is really hot.
I feel that the height here is probably almost like 6.
It's exactly 6 feet in the center, and then it's 5'6" in the corners. Okay. So for me, I could stand in a paint can and still not reach the top there.
Very nice.
But for other people that are much taller than me, it's a little bit of a challenge. Like some of them have the only place they can stand is underneath there in the roof hatch. So
we took a break now, and we're gonna.
Salute!
Cheers!
Salute! Cheers!
New friendship, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. I'm happy to share with you guys.
To your home.
Yeah. This is what it's about. It's about meeting people and having fun, new adventures.
Team.
Nice. I love the lights and
the recessed lighting with the LED.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are very strong LEDs, so they really help if you need to like cook something and you need some light. Yeah, I used a lot of repurposed materials as much as I could. Like this was fence wood from the farm I lived in. Nice. And I moved over to that farm into an RV so I could downsize and figure out what it was like to live tiny already. And then like figure out what would serve me and what wouldn't. So quickly I was like, yeah, this boxy RV style doesn't work for me, and this is fully customizable anyways. So yeah, I had some things that I had to work around, like the wheel wells. But for the most part, whenever I found a bargain, I went ahead and bought it and just kind of hung on to it and then worked around that.
We paused the video, we talk, and then we're like, hold on, let's rewind. And then you drink, and then we start again.
So I am actually a chef by trade. I graduated several different courses. Tourism and hospitality and culinary, and then I went into communication arts and journalism, and then I worked as a photographer for many years, worked as a chef, worked in restaurants in various capacities, and then I had many other very weird jobs that I won't mention, just because I love traveling so much that I would like make as much money as I could, save it all up, and then leave, and then come back when I had like $10 to my name.
We can make a video on that too.
Absolutely. On the stories I could tell, but I shouldn't. My mom's out there.
Wait, don't tell her the video.
What want to see next? We have the pantry here. My girlfriend brought me these from Sweden, so I had to display them somewhere really cool. I just love how they matched perfectly with the rest of the bus. Like everything just kind of came together with like the color scheme and, you know, like special items that people had gifted me and things that I wanted to keep. Like I have my crazy collection of magnets from all the places.
Very nice.
And they're literally all over the bus. So that was another reason why I wanted to keep it with
And
the
there's
original
my
roof
name.
and the walls.
Virginia.
There you are. I love that state. It was so beautiful.
Yes.
And then I try to like do, you know, very customized things, like make it very nautical themed.
Yes.
So I have like cleats everywhere for the door handles and things to hang on to, like rope trim, you know, your macrame.
That you've made.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Driftwood. Just
Very
cool,
nice.
Cool little things that make it kind of your own, you know, like these shelves. They were $6, so I bought them and then I turned them upside down so they'd have this little lip that would hold things together. And then I added the little triangles as I went about, just to kind of make it more mine, and then also safer when you drive.
And how often do you move your tiny house?
So originally I was gonna just go travel out west, and then I kind of ran out of money for the solar, so I kind of reevaluated things and ended up like going to camp a lot at my town's state park. And then they convinced me to start volunteering there, and I was like, well, what's the perk? They're like, well, you get to live here. And I was like, what? I get to live in a state park and call it my house? So every 4 months, depending on, you know, how the situation works out, but usually every 4 months you can hit a different park up and go stay there for 4 months.
Very nice.
This is your fourth.
This
state
is my
park.
fourth state park in Florida. Yeah. Not sure how much longer I'm gonna do it, because I do want to go for a trip, probably to the other peninsula on the other side and do the mirror thing that I've done here in Baja. I know some friends out there, and it's such a beautiful place. You can go dive with whales, you know, and then you can stay in a lot of places for free. So,
But Gus
there's
will
the
go
appeal.
with you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, and
okay.
some friends I think we're already going to be traveling out west too. So we'll do a little convoying. And then
Okay, very
I have
good.
family out there. My cousin just bought himself a mini schoolie, and he's
Okay.
working on it.
Very good.
Yeah, we'll give you guys his tag too, so you can
Yes.
follow his progress. Yeah, so pretty cool.
So do you have a car as well, or when you go shopping you just do Uber?
I do have a car, and it's a very nice car, and they were trying to give me a lot of money for it right now because of the shortage. So
Yes.
I was considering selling it and then buying just a golf cart and a motorcycle.
Okay.
But I haven't quite pulled the trigger on that yet. I might not. I don't want to take it with me when I go out west. I just want to have the bus and then a motorcycle or like an electric bike or something.
Okay.
That's a little bit more portable, and then it's just easier to have one thing only to worry about.
Right, because then you have to just hook it to the back and
Tow it behind
then
me.
tow
Right
it.
now it's been nice because my mom's been able to drive it behind me whenever
Okay.
she's been here. Or like usually I was pretty close to Jupiter, so my friends helped me out as well, and it's not a far trip.
So how does your mom like living in the tiny house with you?
Well, you should probably ask her that.
Okay.
At first, I don't know. It wasn't really her style. She's more of like, you know, she likes urban stuff and all that. I'm like, if I never see a building again in my life, I'm perfectly okay with that. And this is it. Like, I want to be in the middle of wildlife. I want to see critters and creatures and things I've never seen before, and you know, swing on the hammock and be near the water and watch the sunsets every night. So she's enjoying this park, especially because it's a little bit more urban, so she can kind of walk the beach and all that. But she'll tell you it was a little bit of an adjustment for her. And for me too, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. This is actually my water heater. It's an instant water heater, so it doesn't. I don't need an extra water tank for it. I don't have to
Very
carry hot
good.
water. I just, as soon as you turn it on, it starts heating up.
And what is this little guy there?
This is the washer and dryer. So
Oh
obviously
my
it doesn't like
goodness.
dry it like bone dry. You
Yes.
just hang it up. But seriously, by the time you're done with the next load and you go to hang it up, everything has already dried off because Florida, you know, Florida sun. So and
So it
fits
has like a
perfectly in
little
there, and it was
spinner in it?
$75.
So how does it spins inside?
It spins in there, and then this spin dries it. Yeah.
Oh my.
This is one of the best things I've ever bought in my life.
Centrifusion, I think it's called.
Yeah, centrifuge.
Centrifuge.
Centrifuga.
Uh-huh.
Exacto.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Seriously, one of the best things I've ever bought. It washes better than any washing machine I've ever had. That was like $1,000.
Wow.
I highly recommend it.
This takes
And I
diesel.
just like take it outside and just do my load and then bring it back in when I'm done.
And it drains
The water, yeah, it has a little water drain.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually drain it right into the proper place in
Yeah.
there. So yeah.
And so your tiny home takes diesel.
It is a diesel bus.
Diesel,
So yeah,
okay.
the least I drive it right now until the fuel prices go down, the better.
Okay.
So I'm good until the end of the year. This is the most I've ever planned in my life. But yeah,
Very nice.
Till November, I have a place to live. So.
Very nice.
Make our way into the closet area.
Oh, look. My dad had one of these.
Isn't that
El
so cute?
combi.
And you know what this is? It's a money bank.
A money bank.
Piggy bank.
Yes.
I found this on the beach, so I just left her. This is another one of the paintings that I did when I was traveling across country, along with that sun one over there with the wave. And then like this, again, repurposed fence wood. This is aluminum from my friend's gutter business that he had laying around. Sorry for the mess.
No,
but yeah,
you're
there's my clothes in there. There's more clothes in here.
Oh.
These were from IKEA. They were cheap, so I just bought them all, and then I just kind of made it work on top of the wheel well, which I built a little thing for it. And then this I built out of plumbing nipples and
Yes.
some plywood, and all my clothes come out like that.
Very
And then
nice.
these actually lock in place when I'm driving, so it doesn't go flying around all over the place. If you guys step this way, I'll show you one of my favorite features about this bathroom closet area of mine. Now we can close ourselves off from
very
Mom,
nice.
and I can work and do my own thing over here, far away from the rest of the world. Or if I needed to leave the dogs closed in here, that was separated from the rest of the house. I think I'll have you come in here with me, Sergio, and then so you're gonna step in there, and then I'm gonna step in there too.
Oh, so it all closes in.
We're gonna block you off there.
This is the most important part.
Yes.
The bathroom area, and then I shut this off here, so it turns into a pretty big room. So it's not like a tiny, like you have room to dry off and change, and yeah. And then I have my little girly things hiding in here.
Water source, how do you, I don't know if you talked about it.
I have a pump, but since I'm plugged into the shore power, as they call it, I'm still plugged into city water as well, so it just comes straight from the hose. But otherwise, you fill up your water tanks, and then use a water pump, and then water comes out.
There we go.
It was honestly, when I first did this and water came out, I almost was like, oh my god, I can't believe I did this. Yeah, and one day I got cranky with this bathtub because it wasn't draining properly, so I just ran hot water outside. That way we could take hot outdoor showers. This is a composting toilet, so it's very ecological. You don't create raw sewage. You separate the liquids from the solids. The liquids are sterile, so you can just dump it right in the, well, you can dump it in the garden.
Back
right.
to Mother Nature.
I happen to have a spot where I dump them here, but yeah, the other one is just, it turns into literally dirt. And we use coconut coir, which is just like fluff, and then when you're done with the whole thing and it's composted, it's literally just dirt that you again just throw back in nature.
Beautiful.
You can't tell. It's the depth. It's deep, just like from here. But
yeah, this is like a 75-gallon.
That's amazing.
This fits more water than my 2 water tanks almost.
And then I heard that is it with coconut? You said something with coconut.
It's coconut coir. It's that fiber. You know the husk, the green stuff, and then the fiber around the little coconut shell.
Yes.
So that stuff, it basically gets dried off and dehydrated, and then they chop it up into like basically a flour, a coconut flour. They call it coconut coir.
Okay.
COIR.